Last week, 2 weeks ago, my grandmother died. During this entire time, I've been thinking about grief and the nature of it. Some time ago, I wondered if I would ever cry. I have a hard time expressing emotions, so I was wondering if anyone would ever make me cry. I was thinking my grandmother would be the person. I never imagined her to be gone, but while I was thinking about it, about whose loss would affect me to the point that I would shut up, cry, or whatever words you might use for it, I thought it would be my grandma, but I did not. I was at my office when I got the news about her passing, and my sister was on the other side of the phone and she was crying. And during the entire call, the first thing that hit me was no way, that would not happen. Surely I must have misheard it. She was old, and it was always in the talking that we might not be again together next year. But I've been hearing it for a long while, so I did not even. At some point, I just forgot what those words meant, and I just assumed them to be the words that people just say. And when I heard my sister telling me that my grandma has passed away, it took me a while to understand, yeah, we will not meet again next year. First of all, it was for me to parse through the information. And when I did, I was still on the call, and I thought I would start to cry. I did not. I waited for my tears to come. I was still on the call with my sister, and she was crying on the other end, and I was waiting. I was hoping that I would cry because I imagined that is how you express grief. That is how I thought grief was supposed to be processed, through tears, through emotions. But there was no grief. There was grief, but there was no tears. I just sat there in the call. After a while, my sister cut the call and she went to other, and I was just standing there. I told about my grandma's passing to my colleagues, and they told me that I should go home and take a rest. And I did. I came home, but the experience was lackluster. I did not ball up, I did not cry, I did not do anything. I was angry at myself throughout the entire walk. It took me 30 minutes to get back home, and through the entire walk, and even after I was back, I was really, really angry at myself about why I'm not crying. She was my grandma. I loved her, and yet I have no tears to show for it. Am I not sad? Do I not have any emotions? And yet, there were no true tears. That affected me a lot, and that compounded in itself. Why am I thinking about myself when my grandma died? Why am I concerned with my emotion when my grandma died? She died. Why am not angry or sad about her? Why am I still focused on myself? And so my thoughts kept on spiraling onward and onward. Throughout this entire process, I also tried to justify my emotions. Okay, so I've been reading meditation and it talks about death and it says that uh, people die, so that's normal. But I knew it wasn't that was keeping me from dying, from crying. I didn't understood the meaning of the book, but I had not internalized it yet. I there were genuinely no tears in my eyes. I was just there, numb. I did not feel anything other than anger and hatred towards myself. I just walked home and that was it. The next day, my team offered me a few days leave so that I would be able to grieve her better, but I was not grieving her. I was not crying. I was not in a condition where I could not work. So I tried to join in the work, but unfortunately my laptop gave out. So I was just there. I had to fix on it. Throughout the entire day, I kept thinking about my grandma. And the loss that I have now. She was my only remaining grandparent, and now she isn't there either, so I don't have any grandparents left. My mom does not have anyone to call parents, neither does my dad. My mom used to get really sad during our festivals and tell our grandma that all I have, whether I say mom or mom in law, is you. And now she can't say that anymore. She does not have anyone. So I was just sitting there in my thoughts the entire day, processing what grief is. And I tried several times to make myself cry. I did try it. I thought once I started to cry, it would be easier to keep on crying. I did not cry though. I was just there, and that was it. The next day, I had to work again. My PM, my project manager, told me that I should take a leave and rest properly. But why? Am I not being able to work properly? That should be the normal expected thing that I should be going through, but I'm not really feeling anything. Somewhere through this process, I started to call myself a monster. After all, I don't really feel anything. It was like this for the next week and a half. And during this entire process, I think I managed to reach a suitable justification for my response. I don't think it's because I'm a monster. I loved her, and that is true. I love her dearly, but I never really got too close with her. I met her once a year, and that would be for a week or so. And after that, her, and even if during that period, she would be incredibly valuable to me. Her presence did not come into my life anymore. She did not have much of a presence in my life from for the rest of the year. Whenever you lose someone, there is a portion in your heart that signifies how much grief you feel. And despite loving her so much, there wasn't much of a. She didn't really play too big a part in my life, and because of that, the hole that she left was small. And I think when I do, it's so hard to say this because I don't want to lose anyone. uh, Crying is a really sensitive topic to me because I don't remember the last time I cried because of emotions. It's hard for me to process grief. I'm so used to intellectualizing everything, and even this grief, I turned this into a formula. But I do hope when I lose someone, I'll actually be able to cry at least. This this numbness sucks. It sucks worse than any other thing that you might have. So, yeah, that was something I've been going through for the last 2 weeks. And yeah, that was it. See you guys.